can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, South Africa's AB de Villiers lashes out at Virat, Kohli and Rohit Sharma's critics, calling them cockroaches. But is there such a syndrome that persists in Indian cricket even today? Build them up when they are at the top of their game and pull them down when it's most convenient. India's southern state Kerala is under fire for the Argentina Lionel Messi appearance being pushed. The sports minister turned aggressive during his interaction with a journalist, but who's to blame for this? What was the reason for a Messi no-show in Kerala? And Chinese ice dancers have come under investigation after they performed with what appears to be a toy missile resembling the DF-61 capable of carrying nuclear weapons. This act has sparked massive outrage. Was it artistic expression or political provocation? But first, the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with cricket, West Indies have taken a 1-0 lead over Bangladesh in the 3-match T20 series. The visiting captain Shai Hope led from the front with a 46-run unbeaten knock. Rahman Powell added 44 to help West Indies reach 165. In reply, Bangladesh were bowled out for 149. Jayden Seals and Jason Holder picked 3 wickets each to help their side win by 16 runs. Over in the Women's World Cup, opening batter Shafali Verma has been recalled to India's squad before the semi-final against Australia. This is to come in place of the 21-year-old Pratika Rawal, who got injured. Now, Pratika, with 308 runs, is the second highest run getter in the 2025 edition so far. So a big blow there for them already. India will face Australia on the 30th of October in the second semi-final. On to tennis, Grigor Dimitrov returned to the sport with the Paris Masters for the first time since July. The Bulgarian edged past Giovanni Pecci Pericard in straight sets in the first round. Dimitrov's injury during Wimbledon forced him to miss 4 months of tennis. Over in football, a massive betting scandal has rocked Turkish football. A 5-year investigation revealed that 371 of the 571 match officials have betting accounts. 152 out of these gamble regularly on football matches, the count crossing 1,000 games. The Turkish FA will launch disciplinary proceedings. Turkey has long been accused of poor refereeing standards. And summing it up with chess, World Chess Champions Gukesh Dommaraju beat world number 2 Hikaru Nakamura at the Clutch Chess Champions Showdown. Playing with black pieces in round 2, Gukesh comfortably eased past the American. The Indian prodigy was hailed for his post-match gesture. Weeks earlier, Nakamura threw Gukesh's ring at the checkmate event after his win. Instead of repeating the same, Gukesh rearranged his pieces after beating Nakamura. 2 veterans, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, turned back the clock against Australia, creating the perfect farewell episode for everyone down under and making all their critics eat some humble pie, prompting South Africa's AB de Villiers to call critics who were questioning their relevance and presence cockroaches. So I ask, how long will this seesaw affair between India's superstars, in this case Virat and Rohit, and their critics continue? First off, AB de Villiers seems most invested in Indian cricket. Agreed, he does share a close bond with Virat Kohli thanks to their Bengaluru IPL connection, but seems like that has given him the free pass to throw in his observations on the goings-on in Indian cricket. And his latest statement came after the two scored some big runs against Australia in Sydney.
Cockroaches climb out of their holes as soon as players get towards the back end of their careers. Why? Why do you want to pour negative energy into players who have given their lives for their country and this beautiful game of cricket? This is the perfect time to celebrate them.
Now, while I feel ABD seems to have taken a rather privileged position as a key observer of India's cricketing landscape, you have to admit he's right about one thing. India's very long and very disturbing relationship between the star players and, of course, their critics, whether it's within the dressing room or those outside. The cockroach syndrome. Cockroaches survive earthquakes even. They are pesky, frustrating, and have the resilience to wear you thin. he's likened critics to this behavior, and he isn't wrong here. In India, when it comes to legends entering their last phase, no one waits a beat before piling on the agony, especially when the runs all dry up, like they did in the first two one-dayers. Virat couldn't even get off the mark, and Rohit too did not make much of an impact here. The Cockroaches have been out of the woodwork for a while though, casting doubts on the presence of these two veterans in India's scheme of things here, going by the fact that they're all working towards the 2027 World Cup. That's the next big deal now, and putting question marks on their own, Virat and Rohit's 2027 dreams of being a part of that. Now, there are many in the cricket fraternity who feel this exercise of including Virat and Rohit in India's future plans will be futile.
You have to complete the processes. You have to play matches. In this regard, they have fallen behind. The team is unsure of form of these players. Match fitness and normal fitness are two different things.
But what about the two in the eye of the storm? Have they been affected during these last few months? Clearly not. In fact, Kohli was cheered on rather cheekily when he got his first run in the third match against Australia, and he acknowledged that with a smile coming off those two back-to-back ducks. Now that's class. That's a player who knows where he belongs, who is secure, who doesn't need any validation, who knows how to turn things around no matter when. More so when things aren't going his way. But that's the thing about Virat, his in-your-face demeanor, his sense of aggression that he carries about him, the theatrics that come not only with his skills but also when he's in the field, make him a critic's favorite. They love to see him falter, and ironically, the very same will be struck by his brilliance the very next day. With Rohit Sharma, it's his laid-back attitude. He's too cool and very affable, and that becomes a problem too. Where's the energy? Where is the hunger? And they just go about their business in the most professional manner, disregarding all of these noise around them. They are unperturbed by the setbacks as well that come along, something they've honed and mastered over decades.
Rohit and Kohli know that people are waiting for them to fail. There are selectors and some media people. Look at their face. They appeared focused but calm. They'll be determined to go on their terms in this format and not to give anyone a chance to remove them from the team.
But the real test comes now after all these years, because earlier there was title. There was a sense of surety. Today, every innings, every delivery, every single game is watched closely. It's like a ticking time bomb. But that's how it's always been in Indian cricket. What follows stardom, more often than not, is the relentless task of staying relevant, staying present. And that's what the last phase of Virat, Kohli and Rohit Sharma will look like. A fight to the finish with no letting up. Fans who can be flippant at the drop of a hat, critics waiting to spell out the career obituaries, and the pressure of an entire nation. That's all in a day's work for Virat and Rohit from now till they make it to. And whether that will be the 2027 World Cup, of course, is anybody's guess. Now, it was supposed to be India's biggest football moment ever. Lionel Messi, the world champion, the icon, the man millions call the greatest of all time, was set to step foot on Indian soil after years for a friendly in Kerala. But that dream, it's slipping away, and with every passing day, it's only getting uglier. The highly anticipated November friendly between Argentina and Australia has been pushed. This amid allegations of corruption and political blame games. Even when Kerala's sports minister was asked where did it all go wrong, he didn't answer. He knocked the journalist's microphone away, and that one act said it all. The Messi Kerala dream was a long time in the making. The friendly was announced with fanfare last year. The match was to be held in Kochi, a city that breeds football. The state went into overdrive, posters, ads and campaigns everywhere. Fans started saving up for tickets that promised to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But just days before the scheduled fixture, everything came crashing.
Considering the delay in receiving FIFA's permission, after discussions with the Argentine Football Association, it has been decided to postpone the match from the November window.
But really, was FIFA the problem? Let's be honest, the match was in the works for over a year. FIFA doesn't take that long to give clearances, so what actually went wrong? That there, a harsh reality. India couldn't deliver. Argentina reportedly demanded an international standard pitch, top-notch security in place and proper facilities to back it all up. But those conditions weren't met in time. Instead of owning up, the organizers shifted the blame to FIFA, to timing, to logistics. And when the media called them out, the sports minister lashed out instead. A moment that perfectly summed up India's recurring tragedy in sport: ego over accountability. The journalist's question here wasn't an attack. It was what millions of Indian fans had been wondering. How did we lose this? A match that could have marked a defining chapter in India's sporting story too now looks like a massive missed opportunity. What makes this worse? The organizers are still insisting the match will happen in the next international window. But let's do the math here. The next FIFA window is March 2026, just 3 months before the big one, the World Cup in June. Now here's the question. Will Messi, nearly 39 years old, still be touring for friendlies then? Especially when his focus is to be ready for the World Cup.
Well, the truth is that yes, it's something extraordinary to be able to be in a World Cup. And I would like to be there. To feel well and to be an important part of helping my national team, if I am there.
Messi at 38 is in the twilight of his career. Every international break could be his last. Sure, the Indian fans will still get to see him in the GOAT tour. That's exciting enough. But the Kerala friendly wasn't just another game, it was history. And once again, mismanagement and political posturing have turned a dream into one of embarrassment. We've seen this play out before. Remember, Cristiano Ronaldo's Goa visit earlier this month didn't happen. Roger Federer's India appearance in 2016 fell through because of crisis. Every time fans are promised the world and left with nothing but disappointment. India's hunger for global sporting spectacles keeps coming up against the same wall. Poor planning, red tape and inflated egos. And maybe that's the heart of it all. This isn't just about Lionel Messi or one match in Kerala. It's about how India treats ambition in sport, how dreams are hyped up, politicized, and eventually buried under excuses. The Messi dream could have united a nation. It could have put Indian football on the global map. Instead, it's become a case study in how not to handle a golden opportunity. That's the Kerala dream, the one that flickered bright and vanished too soon. A figure skating event in China has spiraled into a full-blown political storm. 2 Chinese ice dancers are under investigation after flaunting a toy ballistic missile, a replica resembling China's DF-61, a missile capable of carrying nuclear warheads, a shocking visual that has sparked outrage. The question is, what message were they trying to send across in the name of art? And did they just turn sport into propaganda? Our next report breaks it all down.
Figure skating, often described as poetry on ice. But in today's hyperpolitical world, even that poetry is no longer untouched. Once a symbol of diplomacy and elegance, the ice rink is turning into a stage for political expression. Not long ago, Russian, Chinese, and North Korean skaters performed together in Pyongyang, a not-so-subtle display of unity between the three nations. And now, it's China's turn to push boundaries. At the Grand Prix Cup of China, two skaters stunned the audience not with their jumps or spins, but with a soft toy missile they held up during their post-performance moment on camera. A miniature version of the DF-61, the same missile China paraded in a recent military showcase, meant to showcase their national strength and nuclear capability. The scene was broadcast nationwide. The performance was initially praised for its grace and precision until that single prop changed everything. A harmless toy or a deliberate statement? The International Skating Union quickly stepped in with this statement.
The ISU is aware that an inappropriate soft toy seems to have been among those thrown onto the ice at the Skating Grand Prix Cup of China. The soft toy was subsequently held by the skaters. The ISU regrets the incident and will investigate further.
The outrage isn't just about a misplaced prop, it's about what it represents. The DF-61 isn't a fairy tale symbol. It's a ballistic missile capable of carrying nuclear payloads, weapons synonymous with destruction, not dance. When that appears on an ice rink, the performance stops being art and starts becoming a statement. And that's what stings the most. In a sport built on grace and expression, the sight of a nuclear symbol felt like a deliberate provocation. Artistic expression? Maybe. But in a world already divided by geopolitics, this act blurred every line between creativity and propaganda. Because let's not forget, sport is supposed to be a bridge, not a battlefield. The Olympic Charter is clear: no political messaging, no nationalistic propaganda. Yet here we are, with athletes using the stage to send a political message wrapped in choreography. The move has raised questions about China's soft power play through sport. Because sport has no space for political provocations. Whether it's Harris Ralph's plane crash gesture after dismissing an Indian batter or NFL stars being warned for gun celebrations, the sporting world has repeatedly drawn the line between passion and provocation. This was no different. In the end, this controversy isn't just about a toy missile. It's about how symbols carry power and how every public act, even a figure skating routine, comes with responsibility. Art can inspire, challenge, even protest. But when it glorifies a weapon, it ceases to be art. And that's the tragedy here. Two young skaters who probably wanted to make an impact ended up igniting outrage. When artists start echoing arsenals, the line between performance and propaganda disappears. And that's a loss not just for sport, but for the very spirit of international competition. Because in the end, how you perform matters just as much as what you perform.
Time for last serve. After CR7, international football is bracing for another Ronaldo. Following in his father's footsteps, Ronaldo Jr. is set to make his debut for Portugal under-16 later this month. We bring you the training visuals from Portugal before the Federation Cup tournament in Turkey. Take a look. That wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.